The day Ethan handed me divorce papers, he did it in the kitchen of our old penthouse, now his penthouse, leaning against the marble island we'd picked together during happier times. His Rolex glinted under the chandelier I'd once called garish, but grew to love. "Sign quickly, Jane," he said, sliding the documents toward me like they were contaminated. "You can't even afford the groceries here, let alone a lawyer." He wasn't entirely wrong. After he'd drained our joint accounts, sold my shares in the tech startup I'd helped build, and canceled my credit cards, I'd been surviving on instant noodles and the last shreds of my dignity. But he didn't know about the wise $63.27, tucked into a hidden PayPal account I'd opened during our honeymoon, just in case. Or the burner phone stashed in the hollowed-out pages of my niece's favorite storybook. I showed up to court in secondhand shoes, my thrift store blazer still smelling of mothballs. I let his smirking lawyer, a slick-haired vulture named Marcus, mock my lack of preparation. Let them think I'd surrendered. Let them feast on their fleeting victory. 2 days later, I sat in a laundromat at 2 a.m., watching Ethan's Instagram reel on my cracked phone screen. Him and his new fiancée, Isabella, toasting champagne flutes on the deck of a yacht I recognized all too well, the Azure Mist, which we'd chartered for our 5th anniversary. The caption read, "Upgraded." Isabella's diamond bracelet sparkled under the Mediterranean sun, and my stomach lurched. It was my grandmother's heirloom, the one he'd claimed was lost during our move to the city. The washing machine shuddered violently, jolting me back to reality. A text lit up my burner phone. Unknown. "He's funneling cash through shell companies in Malta. Want the receipts?" I recognized the number's area code. Liam, Ethan's former CFO, who'd resigned abruptly last year after creative differences. Rumor was he'd caught Ethan skimming client funds, but got paid off to stay quiet. I typed back, "What's the price?" His reply came instantly. "Burn him to the ground." That night, I broke into the storage unit Ethan thought I'd forgotten, Unit 17B, tucked behind a rundown gas station on the outskirts of town. The lock was new, but I'd kept the spare key taped under the doorframe years ago. Inside, behind stacks of Ethan's golf trophies and designer suit bags, I found my old leather-bound journal buried in a moth-eaten moving box. Page 63 held the nuclear codes. Ethan's offshore account passwords, scribbled in his drunken handwriting during our 3rd anniversary trip to Bali. He'd bragged about his financial genius after too many mojitos. Isabella DM'd me at 3 a.m. from her private account. "Stop stalking us, you pathetic hag." Attached was a photo of her wearing my custom Vera Wang wedding dress, altered to fit her surgically enhanced figure. I screenshotted the image, layered it with screenshots of Ethan's wire transfers to Malta, and launched a new Instagram account. @BrokeNotBroken. The first post, a side-by-side of Isabella in my dress and a transaction log showing a $2 million transfer dated the day after our divorce filing, went viral by sunrise. Comments flooded in. "Expose him." "Queen behavior." "Where's part 2?" Ethan's lawyers erupted like hornets. A cease and desist letter arrived via courier at my sister's apartment, the only address he hadn't blocked yet, threatening defamation lawsuits and financial ruin if I didn't delete the posts. I laughed, framed the letter, and uploaded a video of Ethan slurring his way through "Lose Yourself" at karaoke night. The same night he'd transferred $750,000 to a shell company called Blue Horizon Holdings. But Isabella wasn't laughing. She cornered me outside a Trader Joe's, her Louis Vuitton purse trembling in her grip. "Call it off." Each word dripped with venom. "He'll destroy you." I adjusted my grocery bag. Ramen, peanut butter, Ayan's favorite yogurt tubes. "Or what? He'll take my Netflix password?" She shoved her phone in my face. A grainy ultrasound image. 8 weeks. "He doesn't know yet," she hissed. "If he finds out, he'll make me lose it, like he did to you." The parking lot spun. 3 years ago, a miscarriage after Ethan accidentally swapped my prenatal vitamins with laxatives. I'd blamed myself for being careless. Isabella's manicured nails dug into my wrist. Help me disappear, and I'll give you his black book, every secret, every payoff. I stared at the ultrasound, the tiny bean-shaped blur. Then I dropped my grocery bag, snatched her phone, and smashed it under my heel. Rot in hell, my stepmom. Her scream chased me to the bus stop. That night, Liam called. He's moving funds to Nigeria, needs your signature. Of course, the offshore accounts were still under Mrs. Jane Whittaker. My hands shook as I forged divorce papers dated 2019, back when I still believed in us. The notary stamp cost $75 at a pawn shop off 8th Avenue. At dawn, I wire transferred $8.9 million to a women's legal aid fund. The memo line, for every wife he gaslit. Ethan's roar shook my apartment walls at 7:03 a.m. You psycho bitch! I'll end you! I muted his call and scrolled through Isabella's Venmo, a $5,000 payment to Baby Bunker Inc. Clever girl. But when I opened the daycare app to check on Ayan, the live camera feed showed Ethan's black Escalade idling outside. His new driver, a hulking man with knuckle tattoos, stood by the hood, twirling Ayan's favorite stuffed unicorn. The burner rang. Want her back in one piece? Ethan hissed. Bring Isabella. I crumpled the ultrasound photo. Game on. The ransom meet was set at a derelict carnival on the city's outskirts, Ethan's idea of poetic cruelty. Rotting Ferris wheel seats creaked in the wind as I parked my sister's beat-up Corolla. Isabella sat shotgun, her designer sunglasses hiding blackened eyes. He hits harder when he's scared, she muttered, adjusting her scarf over a bruise. I tossed her a burner. Record everything. If he smells a trap, run. She gripped the phone. You think I'm helping you? I'm saving my own skin. Ethan emerged from the ticket booth, Ayan's unicorn dangling from his fist. My niece's giggles echoed from a speaker, pre-recorded, probably from her last birthday. Where's Isabella? He barked. I stepped closer, the gravel crunching under my boots. Let Ayan go first, he smirked, pressing a button on his watch. The carousel lurched to life, its broken horses jerking like puppets. You're broke, remember? No leverage. The burner vibrated, a text from Liam. Storage Unit 17B, go now. I palmed the keys. I found your real will, Ethan, the one leaving everything to your brother. His smirk faltered. Bullshit. Page 12, Clause 4B. I recited the legalese I'd memorized from the documents in Unit 17B. If you die before 40, Marcus inherits everything, even Sophia. His brother's name hit like a slap. You're bluffing. I pulled up the scanned will on my phone. How long has he been screwing Isabella? Ethan lunged, but I ducked, slamming my elbow into his ribs. The unicorn tore, spilling cash, counterfeit bills, and a GPS tracker. Isabella's scream pierced the air. He's got snipers! A bullet ricocheted off the Ferris wheel. I dragged her behind a popcorn cart as Ethan fled, Ayan's laughter still looping. Liam called, breathless. The storage unit's clean, but there's a safe behind the shelf. Code 0415. Ethan's birthday. The safe held stacks of passports, a diamond necklace, and a ledger titled Project Phoenix. Page 1. Terminate JW. Dated 6 months before the divorce. Isabella snatched the necklace. This was my mother's! The GPS tracker beeped. Ethan's voice boomed through the carousel speakers. You lose, Jane! Ayan's real scream crackled, live this time, from the tracker. Auntie! The screen lit with coordinates. Dock 12, Warehouse 5. Isabella grabbed my arm. He'll kill her! I pocketed the ledger. Then we kill him first. Dock 12 reeked of fish guts and diesel. Rusted shipping containers towered like gravestones, their shadows swallowing the flickering streetlights. Isabella's heels clicked nervously behind me. This is suicide, she hissed. He'll have men everywhere. I gripped the ledger tighter. Project Phoenix wasn't just about killing me. It outlined Ethan's plan to frame me for embezzlement, using my old startup's accounts. The final step? Stage suicide via overdose, inherit remaining assets. Liam's voice crackled through my earpiece. Warehouse 5 has no cameras, but the dock workers are paid to shoot trespassers. Ayan's muffled cry leaked from the GPS tracker. I tossed Isabella a switchblade. Distract them, or die trying. She glared, but stormed toward the guards, fake sobs echoing. Please, my husband's cheating on me. While they laughed, I slipped into the warehouse. Chains hung from the ceiling, swaying like grotesque wind chimes. Ayan sat gagged in a steel chair, her unicorn torn at her feet. Auntie! She rasped, eyes wide. Ethan stepped from the shadows, a syringe glinting. Sign the confession, Jane, or she gets a new allergy. The papers accused me of stealing $20 million. My hands shook, not from fear, but rage. You killed Mom's inheritance, poisoned my vitamins, and for what? A yacht? A mistress? He smirked. For freedom. I lunged, knocking the syringe away. We crashed into a tool rack, wrenches clattering. Ayan screamed as Ethan pinned me, his breath sour. You've always been weak. Isabella's scream pierced the chaos. Guards dragged her in, blood streaking her cheek. He lied. The baby's not even yours. Ethan froze. What? She spat at his feet. I used a donor. You're sterile, you pathetic. His punch silenced her. Ayan kicked free, scrambling toward me. I grabbed a wrench and swung. Crack. Ethan crumpled, clutching his knee. You'll rot in jail, sirens wailed. I tore Ayan's gag. Close your eyes, sweetheart. Liam's voice. Cops are bought. Run, now. We fled through a sewer grate, the stench burning our lungs. Isabella didn't follow. Hours later, huddled in a motel, Ayan whispered, Is the bad man gone? I brushed her hair. Not yet. The burner lit up. Liam. Check the ledger. Page 87, a list of numbered accounts. And one name. Senator Harris. Ethan's silent partner. The motel TV buzzed with Senator Harris's face, smug, silver-haired, and mid-speech about family values. Beside him, Ethan stood grinning in a tailored suit, his knee brace hidden under polished slacks. The chyron read, Philanthropist supports new tech hub. Ayan traced the screen. That's the bad man's friend? I muted the TV, flipping through the ledger. Page 87 listed wire transfers to Harris's offshore shell companies. $4.3 million, marked consulting fees. Dates matched my startup's collapse. Liam texted coordinates to a homeless shelter. Ask for Ghost. We arrived at midnight, Ayan asleep in my arms. A man in a tattered army coat stirred a trash can fire. Ghost ain't here. I tossed him the burner. Liam sent me. He spat into the flames. Harris's kid died in a car wreck, drunk driver. Your startup's AI software was supposed to prevent that. Ice slithered down my spine. The project Ethan had canceled. SafeDrive AI was Harris's pet cause. The crash wasn't random, Ghost said. Ethan bribed the lab to fake test results. Software failed. Harris buried it. Ayan stirred, murmuring, Mama. Ghost handed me a USB. Harris's mistress works at the Daily Post, hungry for a scoop. The file held photos of Harris kissing a woman half his age, plus emails to Ethan. Bury SafeDrive or I bury you. I uploaded it to It Broke Not Broken. The post exploded. Senator's secret family and tech cover-up. Ethan called unhinged. Delete it, or I'll... Or what? I hissed. You're already dead. The next morning, Harris held a press conference, tears glistening. My son's death was a tragedy, not a conspiracy. But the Daily Post ran the mistress's interview. He threatened to deport me. Ayan's daycare called. New security guard insisted on personal pickup approval. I raced there, but the guard was gone. A note in Ayan's cubby. Stop now, or she's next. Liam picked us up, his knuckles bloody. Ethan's scrambling, but Harris has dirt on you. He played a voicemail, my sister's voice, drugged and slurring. Jane stole the money, forced me to lie. Ethan's masterpiece, a deep fake. Ayan hugged her teddy bear. Auntie's nice, why do they hate us? That night I broke into Harris's mansion. His office safe held a velvet box, a boy's wristwatch, blood-stained, engraved, "To Jason, love Dad." A gun cocked behind me. "Put it down." Harris's mistress stood in the doorway, tears smudging her mascara. "He killed Jason. The crash was staged for insurance." Sirens wailed. She grabbed my hand. "Run! They're framing you." We fled as cops swarmed. The mistress, Nina, hissed, "Meet me at the docks." I have proof. But at the docks, Nina lay dead, a bullet through her chest. Ayan's stuffed unicorn floated in the water. Ethan's voice boomed from a yacht. "Last chance, Jane. Sign." I clutched Ayan. "Never." He aimed a rifle. "Then say goodbye." A speedboat rammed the yacht. Liam steering with one hand, firing with the other. "Get in!" We dove as bullets peppered the waves. Ayan's scream echoed, "Auntie!" Then, silence. The speedboat's engine roared as Liam dragged Ayan and me from the churning water. Bullets pinged off the hull, but the fog swallowed Ethan's yacht. Ayan trembled, soaked and silent, her tiny fingers clawing into my neck. "Eyes closed, baby," I whispered, though mine stayed wide open, scanning the horizon. Liam's arm bled freely, staining the steering wheel. "Harris has a private militia. They'll comb every inch of this coast." I pried Ayan's grip loose, checking her for wounds. A gash on her knee, shallow but bleeding. "Since when do you play hero?" He smirked, tossing me a first aid kit. "You're worth more alive. Ethan's offer for your head just hit $5 million. The boat lurched into a hidden cove. Ayan whimpered as I cleaned her cut. "Where's my unicorn?" "Gone," I lied, wrapping her knee. "But we'll get a new one." Liam anchored beside a crumbling lighthouse. "Safe house upstairs, for now." The stairs groaned under our weight. The room reeked of mold and fish, but a dusty crib sat in the corner. Ayan's crib, from our old home. My throat tightened. "You stole this?" "Borrowed." Liam tossed me a satellite phone. "Call your sister. Ethan's framing her for Nina's murder." The news played on a cracked TV. "Senator's mistress killed in gang crossfire." Footage showed Nina's body, my sister's forged ID in her hand. Ayan slept fitfully as I dialed. My sister answered, voice raw. "They're in my house, Jane, tearing it apart. Get to the roof. Liam's sending a chopper." Static, then gunfire. The line died. Liam cursed. Harris moved faster. I gripped the crib's edge. "Why help us?" He unzipped his jacket, revealing a scarred chest and a tattoo. Phoenix rising. "Ethan burned me too. Stole my daughter's trust fund." Ayan's fever spiked by dawn. No medicine, no doctors. Liam paced. "There's a clinic 20 miles north, but it's Harris territory." I bundled Ayan in damp blankets. We go. The clinic was a shack with a red cross. A nurse took Ayan, eyeing us warily. "Fever's bad, needs antibiotics." Liam shoved cash at her. "Make it quick." Gunfire erupted outside. Trucks skidded into the mud. Harris's militia, armed and armored. The nurse screamed. Liam tossed me a pistol. "Back door! Now!" Ayan's cries guided me through smoke and splintered wood. We crashed into the forest, thorns tearing at our clothes. A militia dog lunged, jaws snapping. I fired. It yelped, retreating. Liam didn't follow. Hours later, sheltering in a hunter's blind, Ayan burning up in my arms, the satellite phone rang. "Trade," Ethan panted. "Your sister for the girl." The screen lit with a live feed. My sister, bruised and chained in a steel room. "Jane, don't..." Ethan silenced her with a backhand. Clocks ticking. Ayan whimpered. The phone died. I buried my face in her hair. "I'll fix this." But the forest whispered back. "How?" The forest swallowed the last of the moonlight as Ayan's fever raged. Her skin burned against mine, breaths shallow and rapid. The satellite phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Abandoned church. 3 a.m. Come alone. I carried Ayan through the trees, her weight lighter each mile. The church steeple loomed, its cross broken. A woman in a paramedic vest waved us inside. Liam sent me. Lay her here. She injected Ayan with antibiotics, her hands steady. I'm Mara, Phoenix Rising. The name matched Liam's tattoo. Where is he? Alive, gathering reinforcements. She handed me a map, circled in red. Ethan's trade happens here. It's a trap. The location was a defunct gas station, cameras rigged to broadcast globally. Ethan wanted humiliation, not just revenge. Mara gripped my shoulder. We can fake Ayan's death, make the trade, then strike. I recoiled. She's not a pawn. She's everything, Mara snapped. Ethan's weak spot. Use it. Ayan stirred, murmuring, Don't go, Auntie. I kissed her forehead. Never. At 2:45 a.m., I approached the gas station, a decoy bundle in my arms. Ethan stood under a flickering neon sign. My sister gagged beside him. Where's the brat? He snarled. I lifted the blanket, revealing a doll. Your turn. He backhanded my sister. You think this is a game? Mara's voice crackled in my earpiece. Snipers, in position. Ethan's phone rang. Senator Harris's face filled the screen. Call off your dogs, Ethan. The media's on to me now. You're weak, Ethan spat. I'll handle it. A gunshot echoed. Harris's screen went black. Ethan froze. What the? Mara's snipers fired. His men dropped. I lunged for my sister, slicing her binds with Mara's switchblade. Run! I shoved her toward the trees. Ethan tackled me, his knife glinting. You lose! Ayan's scream pierced the night. Auntie! She stood in the gas station doorway, clutching her unicorn. Ethan's grip slackened. How? Mara emerged behind Ayan, gun raised. Phoenix Rising sends regards. Ethan laughed, blood dripping from his lip. You think they're your friends? They want the ledger more than I do. Mara's eyes flickered. Liar? Ayan sprinted toward me. Ethan lunged, but Mara shot him in the leg. Go! We fled as the gas station exploded, flames licking the sky. Mara didn't follow. In the woods, my sister hugged Ayan, sobbing. He made me record those lies, hurt me until I hugged them both. It's over. The satellite phone buzzed. Liam. Meet me. We need to talk about Mara. Attached was a photo. Mara handing the ledger to a shadowed figure. Liam's coordinates led to a derelict subway tunnel, its walls plastered with peeling Phoenix Rising posters. A single bulb flickered above a makeshift desk littered with surveillance photos. Ethan, Harris, Mara. Liam slumped in a chair, his arm bandaged, eyes hollow. Mara's been playing both sides for years, he said, tossing me a file. Phoenix Rising isn't a rebellion, it's a business. The photos showed Mara shaking hands with a man in a tailored suit. Victor Crane, a tech mogul who'd died in a plane crash 2 years ago, my old startup's biggest investor. He faked his death, Liam said, used Phoenix Rising to steal tech, launder money. Your safe drive AI, he sold it to foreign militaries. Ayan clung to my leg, clutching her unicorn. I'm hungry, Auntie. Liam handed her a protein bar. Ethan was Crane's puppet. The ledger doesn't just expose bribes. It lists every black market buyer. The tunnel rumbled. Distant footsteps echoed. Liam shoved a gun into my hand. They're here. Mara stepped into the light, flanked by armed men. Hand over the girl, Jane. Crane wants leverage. Ayan hid behind me. You're a liar, Mara smirked. And you're worth $10 million alive. Liam lunged, tackling her. Run! Gunfire erupted. I scooped Ayan up, sprinting into the dark. Her screams blended with the chaos. A stray bullet grazed my shoulder. We emerged in a storm drain, moonlight guiding us to a graffitied door. Inside, a hacker den, screens glowing, code scrolling. A teen in a hoodie spun around. Liam said you'd come. I'm Dex. He pulled up Crane's offshore feed, live auctions for Safe Drive AI. Bidding starts at $50 million, ends in 6 hours. Ayan traced the screen. That's your robot car, Auntie? I nodded, fury boiling. Safe Drive was meant to save lives, not fund wars. Dex hacked Crane's database. The ledger's encrypted. Need a biometric scan. Crane's fingerprint. Liam stumbled in, bleeding. Mara's dead. Crane's hosting a gala tonight. Masquerade at his yacht. He tossed me an invite. Get his print. I'll keep Ayan safe. She grabbed my hand. Don't go. I knelt, kissing her cheek. I'll come back. Promise. The yacht glittered with elites in Venetian masks. I wore a black gown and Crane's ex-wife's face, thanks to Dex's deepfake tech. Victor Crane held court on the deck, his laugh smooth, fingers drumming a champagne flute. I slipped beside him, swiping his glass. To rebirth, I purred, clinking his flute. He froze. Do I know you? I pressed a syringe into his neck. You will. He slumped. I pressed his thumb to my phone. Biometric captured. Alarms blared. Guards surged. I leapt overboard, the ledger decrypting as I sank into icy waves. Dex's voice buzzed in my earpiece. Got it! Uploading globally in 3, 2. Gunshots pierced the water, then silence. The icy water choked me, the ledger's glow fading as I sank. Gunshots fizzed overhead, their trails dimming like dying fireflies. My lungs screamed, but a hand yanked me upward. Liam, bleeding and gasping, dragging me onto a floating debris pile. Dex, uploaded it, he coughed. Crane's empire is burning. The yacht blazed behind us, elites flailing into lifeboats. Sirens wailed in the distance. Liam's grip slackened. Ayan's safe, with Dex. He didn't wake up. I washed ashore at dawn, the ledger's contents viral. News helicopters circled Crane's burning estates, protesters swarming his offices, but my phone buzzed with a notification. At Broke Not Broken hacked. All posts deleted. Dex answered on the first ring. Voice panicked. Crane's alive. He kidnapped Ayan from the safe house. Sent a video. The clip showed Ayan in a steel room, clutching her unicorn. Crane, face bandaged, loomed behind her. Bring the original ledger, or she becomes my next project. The burner phone rang. My sister's voice. Jane, I'm sorry, they made me tell them where Dex was. I vomited salt water, fury burning my throat. Dex hacked Crane's jet logs, a private island near Bermuda. He's taking her there. It's a fortress. I broke into a marina, stealing a speedboat. Halfway there, a storm hit. Waves tossed the boat like a toy, but I gripped the ledger, waterproof, blood-stained, final. The island's dock swarmed with guards. I rammed the boat ashore, leaping into the jungle. Ayan's voice guided me, a hidden earpiece Dex had sewn into her unicorn. Auntie, the bad man has monsters here. Crane's projects were horrors, lab-grown soldiers, safe drive AI wired into their skulls. They lurched in cages, eyes vacant. Ayan's tracker led to a glass-walled lab. Crane stood over her, syringe in hand. Time to upgrade, Jane. You'll beg to join them. I threw the ledger into a control panel. Sparks flew. The cages burst open. Chaos erupted. Soldiers staggered, attacking guards. Crane grabbed Ayan, sprinting to a helicopter. I tackled him, the syringe shattering. Ayan bit his hand, scrambling free. Run! She screamed. The lab exploded. We dove into the ocean as fire consumed the island. Ayan clung to my back, sobbing. Is the bad man gone? A shadow moved in the flames. Crane's silhouette limping into a bunker. Dex's voice buzzed. He's got a backup server in Greenland. You didn't burn everything. Ayan's fever returned on the rescue chopper. I whispered promises I wasn't sure I could keep. Then a notification. At Broke Not Broken resurrected. New posts flooded in. Crane's victims sharing their stories. Hashtags trended, #, take down Crane. But a voicemail chilled me. You missed one, Jane. Ayan's unicorn played a hidden message. Crane's voice. Check her neck. A microchip pulsed under her skin. The microchip under Ayan's skin pulsed like a ticking bomb. Dex's hands shook as he scanned it with a stolen medkit. It's a tracker and a poison capsule. Crane's threatening to trigger it remotely. Ayan lay on a motel bed, her breathing shallow. It hurts, Auntie. I cradled her head. We'll fix it. Janu. Dex hacked Crane's server, sweat dripping onto his keyboard. Greenland facility's a backup. If we destroy it, the chip's kill code might deactivate. Might? I snapped. He flinched. It's all we've got. Liam's burner buzzed with a video. Crane in a frostbitten lab, surrounded by vats of cloned soldiers. Bring the girl, Jane, or watch her melt. Ayan's chip flared red. She screamed, clawing at her neck. Dex jammed a syringe into her arm. Sedative. Hurts less. Her eyes fluttered closed. Don't let him take me. I stormed into the blizzard outside, screaming at the sky. Dex followed, shivering. There's another way. Swap her chip with a dummy, but we need Crane's biometrics alive. The plan was suicide. Break into Greenland, clone Crane's fingerprint, and trick the system. But Ayan's whimpers drowned my doubts. We stowed away on a cargo plane, Ayan wrapped in heating blankets. Dex hacked the manifest. Guards changed shifts at 3 a.m. We'll have 12 minutes. The lab was a glacier fortress, its walls slick with ice. I scaled the vents, Ayan strapped to my back. Dex's voice guided through the earpiece. Left, stop, camera ahead. Crane's laughter echoed from a monitor. You're predictable, Jane, but I'll take the girl anyway. Guards dragged Dex into view, his nose bleeding. Sorry, they traced us. Ayan stirred. Is Dex okay? Crane emerged, a syringe glowing blue. Final dose, Jane. Inject her or I'll dissolve her bones. I lunged, slamming his head into a console, his finger sliced on the edge. Blood smeared, biometrics captured. Alarms blared. The clones stirred. Dex kicked a coolant valve, freezing guards mid-lunge. Go! I sprinted to the control room, Ayan's chip syncing to Crane's system. Deactivate? YN. Crane's voice boomed. Kill switch activated. Ayan's chip beeped rapidly. The chip's beep accelerated, syncing with Ayan's heartbeat. Crane's laugh echoed through the lab's crumbling speakers. You lose, Jane. She's mine. I slammed Crane's bloody fingerprint onto the control panel. The screen flickered. Deactivation failed. 00:59 remaining. Ayan's eyes fluttered open, tear-streaked and terrified. Mama! The word shattered me. She hadn't called me that since Ethan took everything. Dex's voice crackled through the earpiece. The kill code's a decoy. He rerouted it to the lab's reactor. It'll blow and trigger the chip. Crane staggered up, face smeared with blood. You'll die as failures, all of you. The clones broke free, their hollow eyes locking on Ayan. I grabbed a scalpel, slicing the chip from her neck. She screamed, crimson pooling on her collar. I'm sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. The reactor's whine pierced the air. Dex hacked the security feed. Override code, PHOENIX. Type it now. I hurled Crane at the console. Do it! He resisted, but a clone bit into his shoulder, teeth tearing flesh. Crane howled, typing frantically. Override accepted. The reactor calmed. The chip's beeping stopped. Crane laughed, gurgling. You think you've won? He pressed a detonator. Dead man's switch. The lab trembled. Ice cracked. Dex yelled, Run! Now! I grabbed Ayan, sprinting as the walls collapsed. Clones and guards were buried in the avalanche. Crane's final scream faded under the roar of snow. We barely reached the surface before the lab imploded. Ayan's breath fogged in the Arctic air. Is it over? Dex limped up, clutching his ribs. Crane's gone, but his buyers are still out there. Ayan touched her bandaged neck. The bad voice in my head. It's quiet now. 3 days later, we stood at Liam's grave, a simple cross in a quiet forest. Dex placed a Phoenix Rising badge on the dirt. He saved us, even after everything. Ayan set her broken unicorn beside it. Bye, Uncle Liam. The news played Crane's obituary on loop, but my phone buzzed. A notification from @BrokeNotBroken. A new post. Jane's fight isn't over. Millions shared their stories, vowing to dismantle Crane's empire piece by piece. Dex handed me a plane ticket. Alaska. Safe house. They'll never find you. I tore it up. We're done hiding. Ayan squeezed my hand. I want pancakes. We ate at a roadside diner, her syrup-stained smile warming the frost-kissed window. A man in a trench coat watched us. Not a threat, a reporter. I nodded, and he approached. Ms. Whitaker, the world wants to hear your story. Ayan doodled on a napkin, a unicorn, a phoenix, and 2 stick figures holding hands. I slid the napkin to him. This is the only story that matters. But that night, as Ayan slept, I logged into at Broke Not Broken one last time. Uploaded every file, every secret, and typed, for Liam, for Nina, burn the rest. The screen flashed. Upload complete. Ayaan murmured in her sleep. I kissed her forehead. No more monsters, Janu, just us. Somewhere, a server exploded,